Welcome back, everybody, to LBS Response to episode number 13. And yeah, you guys really liked last week's. Of course, there was a big question in there. A lot of people, I guess wanted to know the answer. But yeah, so we have a couple questions for this week. Definitely not as much. It was kind of a slow week. But again, leave your questions down below. Anything I'll answer. And yeah, so let's just get right into it, guys. The first one is from Anakin Production Lego. He says, what is your favorite 2019 Lego Star Wars set? So, I gotta say, in the end, I think it's one of the 20th anniversary sets. I do gotta say, probably the Clone Skywalker. I think in general, I mean, it's, of course, a clone vehicle, one of my favorite vehicles. I love the box art, and I think just for the price point, especially if you catch it on Amazon for like 18 bucks, you cannot go wrong with that. So that's my favorite set of 2019 so far. Moving on to Lego Legend. His first question is, what will you do if you run out of space in your room? I don't think I'm going to run out of space in this room ever. Again, this is my entire basement right here. It's an entire, I believe the house is 3,500, 4,500 square foot. I don't know if that sounds right. That might be way off, way below, way up. I'm not sure, but I think it's somewhere around the 4,000 square foot range. This is like a $300,000, subdivision house. So it's a pretty big, basement. It's a full floor basement. And yeah, so pretty much the Bricklink store's taken up about, I'd say maybe like I think this side's taking up about half of it, and then the Bricklink store's taking up about a third of it, and then there's just that corner by like the sump pump and like stuff like that that's taking up a really small part. I personally think if I were to go down here, help my dad help me a little bit, and we redo this entire basement to be super like just economical, have everything perfect, I don't think I'm gonna run out of room in this basement like ever. At least until like I move naturally, in say 4 or 5 years, something like that, 3, 4 years, who knows? But I don't think I'm gonna run out of room, so I've never really thought of what I would do. His second question is, what do you use to record your videos? I'm currently using my iPhone 8 Plus. That's the phone I use. I've always used my phone. I used to use my iPod back in the day. My first initial thing, it was garbage, but it was better than my iPhone like 4 at the time. And then I recorded with my iPhone 6S, and then when that completely shattered, or not shattered, but when it completely broke, I've been using this. But again, by 2020, I want to have at least a better camera for most videos. Again, there's some videos I'll probably still record with my phone, but I want to have a better camera just for some better quality if need be. But there's the answers to both of those questions. Kai Love, always coming back every week. He says, thanks for answering my questions. Here's my new questions. What's your thoughts on the new UCS sets and the direction that Lego, like the price and value UCS Star Wars sets, is one of my favorite smaller themes in the Star Wars brand. So yeah, I think the UCS sets, I mean, they're taking it in an okay direction. I mean, I like how at least they're keeping true to like the May the 4th, like kind of cheaper UCS sets. Like the Tantive was $200, and Snowspeeder and stuff like that. X-Wing, B-Wing, TIE Fighter, Sandcrawler was a hefty amount, but other than that, everything else is around the $200 range. And I think, genuinely, I don't mind them doing the huge sets like the Star Destroyer and Falcon, but I do think that is a little bit of a steep price. I think if they could keep those down to like $499.99, I think that's like the max that like I think a Lego set should retail for. I don't know. It's hard to justify like $800, $700. Like it's just kind of weird to even think in your head like wow, like that's $800 for a Lego set. Like I feel like if they could like keep those expensive ones and huge UCS sets down to like about $499.99 range, I think first off they sell better. I think first off, and then second off, no one will complain about them. And I think that's just about like I think that's what seems right to me. But other than that though, I still pick up about every UCS set that's not the $800 ones yet. There's still a couple I need, of course, like older ones from like 2013 and before, but all the recent ones I have picked up aside for the Y-Wing. But there's my answer to that. Then he also said, what's your thoughts of this year's Lego promos? I think all of them have been perfect, aside for the Battle of Endor 20th anniversary set not having that box art. Again, just makes no sense, and I've already talked about that before, so there's my answer to that. And then he also said, can you make a top 10 list of most wanted sets, both retired or new sets, videos as an idea? Actually, I do have one of those coming out, already pre-planned. The script's already made, and should be coming out, I believe, 2 Sundays from now. What is up, guys? I know this is kind of weird for a LBS response to, but I have tried to film the kind of, filming me, answering these last 2 questions like 4 times. Every time I either don't press record, I run out of storage, or, it was just either one of those. It happened 4 times in a row, earlier when I filmed the first part. And then after that, I'm like, I had to take a break. So I did other stuff, you know, now it's about 1 o'clock in the morning now. So, yeah, again, I'm not going to use that for this video. I'm going to answer these last 2 questions just like this. But pretty much, let's see. So Ark asked, are you in a LUG or going to join one? The short answer to that is I'm not in a LUG. I have not been in a LUG since October of 2017. But I do have quite a few plans for collaborations per se. Not really a LUG in particular. You know, if it happens, it happens. But I've got plans to collaborate with some other LEGO YouTubers, some kind of big ways as well. I got probably 4 or 5 plans that I want to have happen, but then I think 2 of them are getting kind of talked about right now. So a couple of them might be coming soon, hopefully by the end of 2019, if not beginning of 2020. So there's pretty much the answer to that. And then moving on to Nate W. He says, would you do YouTube for a living if you could, or would it still remain a hobby if you were to blow up? So yeah, guys, the short answer to that is I have answered that quite a few times in previous LBS response to, but if it happened where, again, like I was making like triple, quadruple what a normal job would make, then yeah, I'd completely cut everything out and keep doing this. But I just don't really see that happening anytime soon. So I'd like to kind of find a you know, a fine balance between both. You know, it is nice to have all this extra revenue come in. But like again, like I just eventually want to, between eBay, Bricklink, and you know, YouTube, have a good foundation of money, you know, coming in to fund everything and really just reinvest into all of this. You know, that's kind of what my goal is in the end game. And then whatever real job I do have in the end, you know, obviously pay for the bills and pay for all the necessities and stuff like that, you know, without having to really kind of overwork myself doing that job. You know, I'll have all this extra revenue coming in to just kind of support the hobby and support all the fun stuff. So that's pretty much what I'm planning on with that. Kind of my thoughts on that, you know, recently. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all for the LBS response to episode number, what would this be, 13. So yeah, guys, if you guys have questions, leave them down below for next week. Next week I will be back on the tripod, of course. It's just this week I got very frustrated this last half of the video. But yeah, if you guys have any questions for my girlfriend, be sure to leave them down below as well. She might be on next week, if not the following week, but I'll definitely get some questions for her ready. But of course, leave me some as well. Don't get too personal with the questions for my girlfriend. Again, like, I mean, she'll probably be fine with answering most anything, but again, not like too personal, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so I want to thank you guys all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. See you guys later. 5% off on your next LEGO purchase. Be sure to use code LIFEBRICK. That's capital LIFE BRICK at RebelLUG for 5% off your next order. It'll pretty much pay for your shipping or get you a couple dollars off. They sell old LEGO minifigures, sets, mystery boxes, and more. I've got a couple of videos on my channel showing the products. So be sure to use code LIFEBRICK on your next order for 5% off.